Shut up! Shut up! Hello everyone, and welcome to another book review. Today we're going to be having a look at The Grownup by Gillian Flynn. Now, this book based itself on a canny young woman struggling to survive by perpetrating various levels of mostly harmless fraud. On a rainy April morning, she's reading auras at a massage parlor known as Spiritual Palms when a woman by the name of Susan Burke walks in. A keen observer of human behavior, our unnamed narrator immediately diagnoses rich Susan as an unhappy woman, eager to give her rather entitled life a much needed drama injection. However, when the psychic visits the eerie Victorian home that had been the source of Susan's terror and grief, she realizes that she may not have to pretend to believe in ghosts anymore. Miles, Susan's teenage stepson, doesn't help matters with his disturbing manner and grisly imagination. The three are soon locked in a chilling battle to discover where the evil truly lurks and what, if anything, can be done to escape it. So, let's dive right in. In layman's terms, The Grownup follows the story of a sex worker turned psychic and her bid to help a family plagued by a haunted house and a crazed stepson. The story begins in a hilarious fashion, and I warmed to the uncouth yet honest, blunt and rather likeable protagonist. She approached touching subject matters with a realness and a rawness which I found refreshing and amusing, to say the least. Common of Flynn's literary style, she lures her reader into a false sense of security, knowing where they're going before taking them completely unaware. We are thrown from a comedic narrative in the first third of the book into a surprising horror tale. It's rather bizarre, yet somewhat enjoyable. My favourite quote from The Grownup would probably be within the first few pages. Our narrator describes herself as follows, quote, "I lack formal education, so I'm left with the feeling that I'm smarter than everyone around me. But that if I ever got around really smart people, people who went to universities and drank wine and spoke Latin, that they'd be bored as hell by me. It's a lonely way to go through life." End quote. So I found this quote to be amongst the most powerful within the story, as the reader begins to understand our narrator's character and trait in an intimate and blunt manner. We start to see that she doesn't sugarcoat or suppress her feelings. Instead, we are told exactly how she feels at a given time and why she chose to perform certain actions, for better or for worse. After doing a little research, I found that readers either love Flynn's writing style or flat out hate it for ending the story so abruptly without a clear conclusion or direction, which is understandable. Apparently this is a common technique of Flynn, although I cannot really say for certain. With so many polar 5-star and 1-star reviews thrown into the mix, it's fair to say that there is definitely no clear answer from thousands of readers. So, simply put, I found the first third of the story very amusing and rather charming. We gain a clear idea of who the narrator is, despite never actually finding out her name. As the story creepily shifts into horror territory, I became even more engaged in the narrative. This is where we find out more about Susan, her evil stepson, her spooky house which needed to be cleansed. So all good so far. So essentially we find out that the stepson is evil, and then it turns out that he's not, and it was actually Susan who was evil, so we kidnapped the teenage stepson only to find out that the stepson may have been lying, and he might actually be the evil one after all. And then the story dies. It just ends. I cannot help feeling disappointed for some reason. It feels as if the last 20 pages just didn't match the tone, or really match the rest of the book in any way. It simply felt that the story ended where it shouldn't have. Again, this might be Flynn's writing style. I'm not too sure, but I'm not really a fan of her choice to do that. So after some time and reflection, I have decided to give the Grownup a 6 out of 10. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.